I feel sorry for people who are chained to money, right? That think it's important. You know, the kind of car you have or the kind of clothes you wear. Hi guys, this is Play It Again. I am Ginger.
And I am Mike.
And we are back with part 3 of the money game, not the murder game.
Right.
That's a different game. Although it is often the same. Or so we've seen.
Yes.
Okay, so this one is new. The last 2 were 3 years ago.
Yep.
This one's newly out. Maybe a week. I can't remember. I'm sorry,
like
guys.
that.
So, ready?
Ready.
Gird your loins, my friend.
My loins are girded.
It's like very movie villainish. It's really disconcerting. Look at that. You're a person under there.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then a lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. He gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
I think I know what rhymes with that.
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45, Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father. It's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Kind of went exactly where I expected it to go. It's funny because that story reminded me of that movie God of War, which was a true story.
I've never seen it.
No, you would not watch that. I could barely watch it, and I could never watch it again. It was really, really awful. Well, I mean, not awful. It was a good movie. The story itself was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's a correlation or if it's just a common theme. But that was really extraordinary. I'm going to share a personal observation of my personal experience, how I'm relating to this story. Not that I've had money or fame or any of that. Okay, it's not that. That's not where I'm going.
Yeah, we're not much into playing that game any more than we have to,
no.
to survive.
It's true. It's funny just when we say that, when we're sitting here having a YouTube channel and everything, but the truth is it was never meant to be this way, the way it is, so big.
Yeah.
Right? Like we always just wanted to do it for fun. But anyway, that's not where I'm going. So my own personal observation and a reflection on my personal experiences, when he talks about like the story of Jimmy and how no matter how much he gets that he thinks that he wants, he's never happy, right? It just keeps descending and descending and descending. So personally, guys, it doesn't look like it now, but I've been through a lot of hard times. I've had several bouts of homelessness. I've been bankrupt a couple of, like not officially bankrupt, but pretty close to penniless a few times. Yeah. And it's been a hard life in the past. And so I've had that experience, and then I've had an experience where we had mostly everything we could need, right? And then we sold it all and moved to Costa Rica and started fresh again in a very simple, basic life, very rural.
Most of our net worth is in ducks and turkeys.
It's true. But the funny thing is, when we had all of those things, everything I thought I wanted, right? Everything was so stressful and everything was so hard. And then when we got here and we see lots of people criticize the third world, right? Like Costa Rica, Central America. Life is hard here, right? It's very poor. A lot of people live in some very hard conditions, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't seem to matter.
No.
They're still really happy, right? Like they have a zest and a joy for life that it doesn't seem to matter that there's poverty here.
Well, stressing out in a cubicle so that you can have a house that costs way more than it should because of taxes and policies over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, you can be a lot happier when you're less stressed about the roof over your head.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like my feet are always dirty. There's dirt on the floor, right? I'm walking through duck poop every day, and I have to boil water on the stove to wash dishes, right? Like it's a different kind of life than we were used to, but it is better, right? Like everybody, money's important. You need it.
I mean,
right?
we need enough money to put food in our bellies that we don't grow ourselves, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Keep the lights on.
And keep the government off your back. You need enough money for that. But the fact of the matter is, right, that this game, this war that we play between how much is too much and how much is too little, is kind of foolish.
No, enough to pay taxes and utilities, and beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice
I'm
to have
much
nice
happier
things.
not chasing it. I can go out and look at the sunset for free.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I feel sorry for people who are chained to money, right? That think it's important. The kind of car you have or the kind of clothes you wear are the things that are important, because I look at the life that I have, right? Like I look at my ducks and the little chicken that sits on my shoulder at night before I go to bed, and I think to myself, I couldn't even imagine trading that for a Lamborghini. Who wants that?
No.
Right? So
no,
it's
clean, fresh air, low stress.
Yeah, I
beauty,
always hear those stories. I'm sure
happiness.
There's people that have lots of money who are happy and who are good people and they're good in their community. I'm sure there are people like that. I think we even know some people that are like that. They seem like they have what more than they could possibly need, but they don't look like they're saturated in money, right?
Seems like a rare breed, though.
It's true. It's true. They say money corrupts, but the truth is, I think money just makes the corruption show up better for other people to see, because the truth is, your character is what it is, right? Money will just allow you to make the monster that you are bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy's a perfect example. He could be just a low-level thug who's penniless, who just beats up his girlfriend and burns down some cars in the neighborhood, but because he had a boatload of money, the damage gets bigger, right? Drugs and what a horrible story. I can't even imagine being that kind of person.
No.
I don't know. Anyway, really brings it to the fore, right? It's the rawness of those lyrics really brings it out. It was that was a stark story. It was very depressing.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes you think, right? Like, it makes you think about what you should be appreciating.
Yeah, you don't have to think it's quite as bleak and as dark as that story to at least pause and think about what your priorities are. Yeah.
And guys, be better parents than that. My God, that kid's dad.
Yep.
So many like that.
Yep.
Can't have that. Anyway, oof.
Intense.
That was a long and bleak story, but it was really good still. I really enjoyed. That's not really the right word.
Appreciated.
Yeah, I'm going to need to take some time to absorb it all, but it's always such a good delivery with Ren.
Straight up.
So, and I will say, for those of you who are still tuning in, this is a very long video, I'm sorry. I will commend Ren, because for somebody who it seems as though kind of just burst out on the scene and has risen to a significant amount of fame and notoriety, right? He seems to be grounded well enough that he's handling it without becoming a Jimmy.
Right on.
Which is the way it should be, always. So, hopefully you all enjoyed that too. Look at the things in your life and start showing more appreciation within yourself for the things that enrich you without making you rich. That's where joy is, guys.
Straight
honestly.
up.